Hi, my name is Eric. So right now I'm going to be doing the How I Learned to Read. Um, so let's see. I love to read. I think reading is not just for me, but everybody's the thing that we probably can do the best. You know, I think when it comes to reading, my earliest memory goes all the way back to probably daycare, maybe even as a baby. I can remember pretty far back. I have so many right in front of me. I have a bookshelf. Lots of them are children's stories. Um, and even though I haven't read them in years, I know the story, and I can almost recite some of the words. I can remember my mother reading to me before bed, or my dad, or telling me stories. Um, Sometimes I would sit on my mom or my dad's lap, and they'd have a book in front of them, and I'd be reading the words along with them. I can't say I was fully engaged, only because I don't know that I understood everything that was in front of me, but I think as I got older, I processed what it is I was reading, and I think that in turn is why I can understand or have memories of the books in front of me. Um, you know, with Another teacher was my first grade teacher, Miss Galvan. My second grade teacher, Miss Montañez. They both encouraged us to read a lot and write. We did a lot. I remember, especially in second grade with Miss Montañez, we did a lot of. We would read a book. We would do like AR, right? We would do our AR and we'd read a book. It's like, all right, you read your book. Now we're gonna write a paper on it. Like have a page or one page, and you'd have to really go into detail as to what it is you read. And I've always been so fascinated by telling stories and the way that stories can be told from other people's perspective, because the way the author wrote the book is not always the way the reader's going to perceive it. They're going to interpret it in their own way. Um, you know, the thing I can remember most, I know here in the topic it says what I remember about transitioning from home literacy environment to a more formal education literacy environment. I think the depth in which I understood what it is I was reading, that's the biggest thing I can remember. And the type of books as well, the type of books that I was reading. You get older, you read books with bigger words and more fancy definitions, and reading just becomes more interesting.